Salut à tous, bienvenue en direct d'Antares Basket Live saison 2, épisode 5. Ça vient de reprendre après une petite pause pour le MSB. Il y a eu le match à Strasbourg ce week-end et puis il y a la Coupe d'Europe qui arrive, la réception de Bologne et Cameron Clark est l'invité de Basket Live. Hello, bonjour Cameron.
How you doing?
Ah, ça va très très bien, et toi?
Bien.
Bien aussi. Bon, on va évidemment plutôt la faire en anglais, hein, ce sera plus facile pour toi. Alors la Coupe d'Europe, là ça y est, la Ligue des Champions qui arrive. Vous avez eu une très longue pause. C'était difficile de reprendre le rythme?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult, but I feel like we had a lot of great days of practice. You know, everybody's back now. First couple of days, everybody wasn't back. Now we're getting back acclimated and practicing hard, so I feel like we're ready.
Il y a eu Strasbourg, va y avoir la Ligue des Champions, et puis également Lasvel, Monaco. C'est un très gros programme. Hein.
Right, we got a lot of tough games coming up. I think this is a critical point in this season. I feel like we win a couple games, they'll put us over the hump. So right now we're just going to focus on one game at a time, but it's a lot of tough games coming up. It's going to be interesting.
Justement, le prochain match c'est contre Bologne ici en Ligue des Champions. Il faudra beaucoup de monde dans la salle Antares.
Yes, definitely. We need everybody's support from you know, kids to the parents and everybody. Just come out and support us. They're a very good team. I actually got a homeboy of my MBI that plays on another team, so I'm looking forward to the game, and we just need everybody's support. Come help us.
Est-ce que les vacances, la pause, comme on n'avait pas fait la Leaders Cup, n'est pas arrivée au mauvais moment? On avait l'impression que l'équipe vraiment repartait en grande forme.
I wouldn't say the worst moment, but it kind of stumped us. I think we were like on a 5-game winning streak, so I mean the break kind of, you know, breaks us down a little bit, but we're back at it, so we're not really focused on that. We're going to go into the next game, same mentality, and try to win every game.
Et tu sentais vraiment que l'équipe avait progressé ces dernières semaines?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, the break kind of helped us a little bit, you know, just going back over plays, paying more attention to detail of what we need to get out of each possession in each system. So it kind of gives us more time to just gel together, so to say, and get back on the road.
Et toi alors, physiquement, est-ce qu'aujourd'hui tu te sens à 100% après des petites blessures, des absences cette saison?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Had a couple, you know, knickknacks here and there. You know, me coming off breaking my leg, but I feel like I'm getting back to 100%, moving a lot better, and just feeling more confident each and every day.
Basket Live, c'est le nouvel épisode chaque mois évidemment sur la page Facebook de Sweet FM et du MSB. Et vous posez vos questions. Vous nous avez déjà envoyé vos questions et je les poserai à Cameron Clark dans quelques minutes. Alors on a fait le tour un petit peu de l'actu. On parlera de l'arrivée du nouveau joueur tout à l'heure peut-être. On va parler un petit peu de toi maintenant. Le portrait. Tu es né en 91. Tu vas avoir 28 ans cette année, le 16 septembre. Et tu es né donc si je crois bien à Phoenix dans l'Arizona. Est-ce que tu peux nous raconter un petit peu ton histoire?
I mean, I was only born in Phoenix, Arizona. I really kind of grew up in Oklahoma for a couple of years, and then Texas. Childhood, it was good. You know, typical mom, dad, friends growing up. A lot of running around with, you know, different cats, older cats, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
Le basket, tu as démarré comment le basket? Est-ce que c'était quelque chose dans la famille, des amis?
Not really. Basketball wasn't like my first choice. I was kind of getting in trouble in school, and then my mom was like, you got to do something different. And then she dropped me off at this church, and they was playing basketball. And then I kind of just started playing from there. So it kind of went from church to, okay, I kind of like it. And then became everyday type of thing, and then just grew to love it.
Et c'est grâce donc à tes problèmes à l'école finalement. Alors c'était bien d'avoir des soucis?
I wouldn't say just mischievous. I just really didn't listen to the teacher like that. I really kind of just wanted to do my own thing, and that kind of just didn't help. And I was kind of like a class clown, so that didn't really help. But yeah, I guess you could say that, so to say.
Et à quel moment tu t'es dit justement au début quand tu découvres le basket, je vais peut-être en faire mon métier, devenir professionnel?
I would say probably my junior year of high school. I feel like, okay, I was kind of hanging around the wrong guys, and they kind of just pushed me to play basketball. Like, yo, this is what you need to be doing. And then I saw a lot of my friends just going the wrong path, and I kind of didn't want to, go that route. Just getting it was a lot of bad things going on, and I kind of just steered toward the other route, and I just been playing basketball ever since.
Et tu avais à ce moment-là un coach de la famille qui t'a encouragé à faire ça?
Kind of, not really. I just had a couple guys in my ear. I know my mom, she didn't really like what I was doing, so I kind of did it for her too. And then, like I said, I just grown to love it, and it became an everyday part of my life. And then I just been playing basketball ever since.
Et ensuite, donc, tu as intégré l'université d'Oklahoma. Raconte-nous, ça s'est passé comment?
Well, I went to Oklahoma 2010 after high school. I kind of fell in love with the coach, Jeff Capel. We had a very good relationship, and then I had a lot of family members there too, and it was close to home, so that kind of played like a big role in it. And then my 4 years there was good. After a coaching change with Lon Kruger my sophomore year, and then it was good. My whole experience from Oklahoma was good. It taught me a lot of good things.
Donc ça a été vraiment le tout début de ta carrière. C'est à ce moment-là aussi que tu t'es dit je vais réussir à devenir un bon joueur de basket.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. College was a lot different from high school. High school I really wasn't focused or just in between the lines kind of kid. But college taught me a lot of you just have to grind it out, stay focused. At that moment, you're not with your parents anymore, so you just really got to become an adult, and teach you just a lot of responsibility, a lot of, just it really depends on you how you want your life to go from there. So that's how I kind of looked at it, and just was dedicated on getting better and living my life, and getting better at basketball each and every day.
Basket Live, c'est en direct de la salle Antares. C'est Cameron Clark qui est bien sûr notre invité. On va lui poser vos questions dans quelques secondes. On continue quand même de dérouler un peu le film de ton parcours, de ta carrière. À l'issue de cette université d'Oklahoma, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé dans ta tête? J'imagine que tu voulais peut-être d'abord rester aux États-Unis, et puis ensuite tu es parti en Italie, c'est ça d'abord, je crois?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to, stay in the States, try to go for the whole NBA thing. But I feel like, going overseas was kind of more so better for me financially, and helping my family, and just kind of building a career over there. So that's the route I took.
Justement, l'étranger, ça a été l'Italie. C'était pas trop dur de devoir partir si loin en Europe comme ça?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. The culture shock was very different. People speaking a different language. Stores was different, not having, simple things like you can't go to Walmart and stuff like that. So, you being American, that kind of hits home, But it's definitely adjustment, and I feel like I adjusted pretty well too. And my family supported me the whole way, so it was cool, good experience.
C'était aussi une expérience pour grandir, j'imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Like then you just know, like, okay, college I was on my own, but here I'm like, okay, cool, you're on your own, you're a man now, you really gotta, suck it up and do what you need to do.
Alors il y a eu ensuite l'expérience en Israël, et puis tu es arrivé en France.
Yep, I was in Israel. Good experience. Had a lot of great teammates that taught me a lot of good things about life, and not only on the court but off the court. It was good. And then fast forward, my first year in France, just an amazing year, from the people to, organization, to winning the championship, to just probably one of the best, I'll say the best years of my life career-wise. So, yeah, it was good.
Oui, ça a été une année exceptionnelle où tu as été le meilleur marqueur du championnat, MVP plusieurs mois aussi. C'était un rêve cette année à Chalon, j'imagine.
Yeah, it was good. I had a lot of great teammates. I feel like the team was put together very well. We all bounced off each other. It was just a great group of people and great coach, so it was good.
Et puis après cette année exceptionnelle, donc tu es parti en Turquie, à Gaziantep. Encore une opportunité d'évoluer à un plus haut niveau pour toi?
Right, definitely. You know, coming from France, winning a championship, all the great accolades, just going to Turkey, and then you know, just trying to do the same thing over. And then the last preseason game, breaking my leg, kind of just, you know, stopped a lot of things. But I mean, it's all the experience. So.
Oui, justement, la grave blessure que tu as eue, tu passes peut-être la meilleure année de ta carrière, comme tu as dit, à peut-être le moment le plus difficile.
Yeah, that was my first major injury, my first injury ever. It was tough. You know, just coming off a great season like that, you know, my expectations in Turkey was I was going to do the same thing, and then just breaking your leg just kind of halts everything, just, you know, makes you think of life in a different way, you know, get to really evaluate yourself as a person, have a lot of time to yourself, and just figure out your next move, and that's what I did. So.
Tu t'es dit à ce moment-là, voilà, ça va être difficile de revenir, ou tu as jamais douté? C'était comment dans ta tête?
Yeah, it was, you know, it was definitely tough. I was thinking, man, am I ever going to play basketball again? Will I be the same? You know, a lot of things go through your head. And I really just was off basketball for a whole year. I really didn't watch any basketball games, you know, I was just so frustrated about the whole situation. And then after that, I was like, this is what I love to do. So God put me in this position, and I just want to bounce back. So that's where I came from.
Tu as travaillé très dur, j'imagine, pour revenir?
Yeah, definitely. Man, it was a hard, you know, recovery. A couple things just you wouldn't imagine, you know, breaking your leg and having to learn how to walk, and just things of that nature, and your leg being weak. It was just a tough time in my life that I just look back on, and just thankful for all the support and the family I had during that tough time, and just looking now back at it like, wow, I came from this, so just want to keep pushing, you know what I mean? So.
Ensuite, tu as réussi le pari de revenir, et puis tu es rentré en contact avec l'UMSB. Raconte-nous un petit peu, ça s'est fait comment ici, les premiers contacts avec le club? Tu as passé beaucoup de tests, je crois, aussi.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't expecting to play basketball until June of this year. So, not June, but January. Excuse me. But yeah, they called me, and my agent told me, you know, I was kind of skeptical, like, am I ready? You know, a lot of things come through your head, you know, after, you know, such an injury like that. But I was just thankful for the opportunity, and just ready to get back on the court. So that's where I was at with it.
Tu avais peur au début, les premiers matchs? Est-ce que tu avais peur des contacts sur le parquet, par exemple?
Yeah, of course. You know, a lot of things go through your head. If I cut this way, will I hurt myself? You know, a lot of things of that nature. But after you know, just getting out there and moving and grooving, you know, it's all mental. You know, after I got over that mental, like, okay, I'm good. I can go out here and do what I can do. So, it just boosted my confidence, and just ran from there. So.
Finalement, ça s'est bien passé, même s'il y a eu quelques petites blessures pendant le reste de la saison. Aujourd'hui, est-ce que tu es heureux d'être ici, de jouer au Mans?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's a blessing just to be back on the court, you know, with a great organization that won a championship. At the end of the day, that's the goal, is to win another championship. And just being around good people that work hard, good teammates, coaching staff, and great GM and things like that. So it feels good to be back here.
Justement, quelles sont tes ambitions pour la suite de la saison, le championnat, la Ligue des Champions et puis encore la Coupe de France?
Well, definitely the goal is to win everything. You know, you can't win every game, but try to win every game. I know that it makes sense in a way, but try as hard as you can to win each game. And you know, it's all about winning. Don't nobody want to be a loser. So at the end of the day, we're trying to win everything. So.
Il nous reste 10 minutes à passer en compagnie ici de la salle Antares et Cameron Clark, bien sûr, pour répondre à vos questions maintenant que vous nous avez envoyées et qu'on va lui poser directement. Damien, par exemple, qui nous dit, est-ce que c'est l'actualité toute fraîche du MSB, est-ce que tu es content de l'arrivée du nouveau joueur?
Yeah, he looks like he's an exciting player. Offensively, he looks like he's gifted. You know, defensively, looks like he's quick. I feel like he's going to fit in our system pretty well. Athletic, looks like he can get in transition, push the ball. So, you know, I'm excited to see him gel with the group and help us.
Laurent qui nous demande, est-ce que tu penses que tu peux encore progresser ici au MSB au Mans?
Definitely. I feel like if everybody's on the right page, you know, everybody has the right mindset. You know, sky's the limit for us. You know, keep winning games and advancing in each league. So, it's no telling what can happen.
Et Sylvie nous demande, est-ce que Le Mans va gagner la Ligue des Champions? Est-ce que tu penses que vous pouvez le faire? Et qu'est-ce que tu penses de cette équipe de Bologne aussi?
Of course, I wouldn't be playing basketball if I didn't think we could win. But Bologna, they're a great team. Got a lot of scores. Got a lot of athletic guys that can push in transition. You know, a great Italian team that you know, very hard nosed. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but I think we're ready for it. Looking forward to it.
Il y a Alice qui te demande, est-ce que tu as une bonne relation, est-ce qu'il y a une bonne ambiance avec les autres joueurs de l'équipe?
Yeah, I feel like we're a good tight-knit group. We always joke around off the court. On the court, we know when it's time to lock in. But yeah, I got a good relationship with my teammates.
Autre question que vous nous avez envoyée, que je pose directement à Cameron Clark. Clément qui nous dit, est-ce que tu aimes l'ambiance de la salle Antares?
Ambiance, that's a nice word. Yeah, it's cool. It's a vibe. It's a different vibe. Just being here in France, Antwerp, it's cool. I like it.
Alors deux dernières questions et puis après on passera à des questions plus directes pour en savoir un tout petit peu plus sur toi. Céline qui nous dit, est-ce que tu restes au Mans l'an prochain?
I don't know, man. I don't have an offer right now, so I don't know. But right now, I'm just focused on the season. You know, trying to help the team win each and every game and try to get another championship. So I don't know. You got to talk to the GM. We're gonna talk to him together. Let's see.
Dernière question des internautes. Mylène qui nous dit, est-ce que tu es célibataire? It's a question from a girl on Facebook.
No, I'm not single.
Ok. Allez, on enchaîne avec des petites questions très rapides. Réponse rapide de ta part. Ton pays préféré dans le monde après, évidemment, les États-Unis?
Favorite country after the USA, I'll probably say France.
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes en France?
It's just a vibe, you know, being in Paris, you know, all the shopping, all the beautiful scenery. It's just a vibe, you know, you just feel good when the sun's out. You know, I like it, it's a vibe.
Est-ce que tu as un plat préféré?
Favorite meal? I don't know. I got a lot of different meals. I like pizza. I like crab, shrimp and steak. Just a lot of different stuff. I think I'm going to be fat when I get older, so I don't know.
Pour l'instant, ça va. Hein, tu peux encore manger. Ce que tu préfères faire en dehors du basket?
Just hang out, watch a movie. Really like shopping, you know, hanging out with my friends. Just kicking it with the family, you know, regular stuff, nothing too crazy.
Le dernier film que tu as vu au cinéma?
At the movie theater, I think it was Creed 2. This was the last time I was in the States. What was that? About 2 weeks ago, something like that. So Creed 2, it was a good movie. I liked it.
Il y a quoi dans ta playlist musicale en ce moment? Tu t'écoutes quoi là? Un son?
I like a lot of things from rap music, Hood Rich Pablo Juan, Gucci Mane, that's my favorite rapper, to the internet, to Erykah Badu. I'm very I like different genres. Well, not the genres, but really rap and R&B. That was like my favorite too.
L'endroit où tu te sens le mieux, le plus à l'aise?
Where I feel happiest? I don't feel like it's a place. I feel like just it's inside you, like wherever you at. If the vibe is good, you know, it's all about vibes. but probably with my family somewhere, you know, hanging out with them, kicking it with them, my sisters, hanging out with my nieces and nephews and friends and family. So, gotta be a good vibe.
Et puis dernière question avant de passer au shoot de dos, et puis on va dédicacer évidemment le maillot qu'on offrira ensuite, qu'on vous offrira ensuite sur les pages Facebook de Sweet FM et du MSB. On parlait cuisine tout à l'heure. Est-ce qu'il y a un plat en France, un plat français que tu as goûté et que tu aimes bien?
No. Nah. I mean, in Lamar, I really don't eat that much here. I mean, with the food, I really just eat Pizza Hut, a Chinese restaurant. I go to KFC, Burger King, you know, all the fat people places, you know. So, yeah, I ain't really found too much of a go-to out here. So.
Bon, ben, on espère que ça viendra bientôt. Merci Cameron. Thank you, Cameron. A little word in French to finish?
Au revoir.
Au revoir, ben voilà, c'est parfait. On va dédicacer le maillot qui est juste ici. Et puis tenter les fameux shoots à 3 points. C'est Antoine Eito qui a le record, donc on va voir si tu es capable aussi de faire aussi bien que lui. Eh bien on y va, on tente le coup. Voilà, on va vous l'offrir, hein. Restez bien près des pages Sweet FM et du MSB sur Facebook. On va vous offrir ce t-shirt dédicacé de Cameron Clark. Allez, dernière étape, les shoots. Take a ball. Voilà, les 3 shoots, dos au panier de Cameron Clark. On rappelle, hein, le record c'est Antoine Eito qui l'a avec 2 sur 3. Yes. When you want. First time. Okay. Second chance. 3, yes. Okay. No problem, it's cool. Thank you, Cameron, and good luck for Bologna.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Pleasure, my G.